Shout out to Boring Guy DIY. Wake up, bro. Let's warm up for a second. What up, New Roots? Hey, from Ireland. How you doing? Welcome. Well, glad any of this stuff. Oh, I can't call it, man. I'm just trying to get some stuff done today around the house. Now I have, this is the shame of my entire house. Like, this is the scourge. I built this room, and I finished the room, and my daughter came from out of town a little early. I didn't get a chance to finish the door, and I never even started the door, truthfully. And now I'm all embarrassed, but it's been there for months. Ugh. And we just ignore it. But because she doesn't live here currently, she's in Florida. I don't think about it the same. But then she comes in town, which is like once every month for at least a week. And then I have to go, scrambling. So now I'm gonna finally get around to it. So I'm gonna build that thing today. Somebody called me while I was gone. Hold on, let me check my phone. I'm sure it was nonsense. It was. It was. So, what we're doing now, we're gonna move this truck over there, this truck down here. This thing right here, 0 to 1,000 in no time. But that's not what we're doing right now. Relax, girl, relax. Let her sit, because we want to be able to unload that truck down there. All right. Don't look at my yard. I need to clean that up too. Imagine running a woodworking business full time and don't have a single thing in my house that I've made. Yeah, it ain't like I ain't been there before. What's going on? Am I leaking tranny fluid? Oh my God, that took too long to shift. You going to the shop, baby. You're going to the shop, girl. This truck's transmission, fortunately, is under warranty. I had it rebuilt maybe 6-8 months ago. Hey, Mainly, how you doing? Just moving some of these trucks around so that we can load up properly. We just discovered we got something going on with the transmission with her, but not her, not Dorothy, not my boo. She wants to go, just always. Always for the smoke, this one. Pull her right up to that back door. Gonna be good. Good girl, baby. Good girl. Oops. Now, we can get all that stuff out of there. Move all this hillbilly stuff out the way. Apologies if you're a hillbilly. I didn't mean to slur you. But you know, I got mechanics tools all outside rusting. That's how much I do not like doing that kind of stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and set this for a little. Undo it. All right. Let's see if this new camera situation is going to work out. Maybe my guitar will need a new location. Maybe. We'll leave it right there for now. All right, so now we got to go through, make a little space over here. We maybe need to make a lot of space. Good thing everything's on wheels. Well, almost everything. This heavy motor scooter. But it is moving. Barely. Move as much stuff out of the way. While we unload. That worked out great. Came in from there, right to there. No problem. Let's do it again. Now, I was able to find this fluted tongue and groove pine. Now it looks like a very knotty pine. You can see there's knots all over it. It's a little unfortunate. I would rather not have that, but I'll take it. For the price, I'll take it. And then we could always make it rustic, you know? And all in all, hardware and everything, I'm gonna hopefully spend less than $200 on this whole project, and I think it'll go great. Hope it'll go great. I saw Bondo in the comments. What do you say? One trip, my man. Oh, that's some good stuff. Where's the graffiti? Well, there's some. And I don't know if you are up on NYC's graph game, but that's from my brother, Fuse Green, the one and only. So there's some stuff in here. Some stuff in here, son. Not to mention, bam. So we in here. What are we talking about right now? We're supposed to be working on something. Okay, these doors. So we got all that out, and we also bought another gallon of Titebond just in case. Because the plan is, let me close this door. Jesus Christ. Oh. Goodbye, baby. I'll see you soon. All right. If you don't want a notch, just hit them with Bondo and sand them down flat. That's a good idea. Or fill them with some CA glue. That's what I do. Ready to sand in about 30 seconds. That's a good idea, bro. I appreciate that. Got in trouble and gave it up. Stills or St. Ills. Okay. Okay. What's up? That's what's up. See, Uno. Now I had to stop too in college at least on buildings and whatnot, because Atlanta started getting crazy. We were hanging off of signs on the overpass, throwing it up, and they started giving out felonies. So we had to pull back. I'm gonna put y'all up on the new contraption. It's gonna help me a lot, I think, from this kind of stuff I gotta do right now, which is be able to be hands free and for you guys to be able to see what I'm doing too. So obviously, one side of this door is gonna be this. And so I need this all to relax a little bit in this room. And honestly, it should be for a few days in this house. But I am pretty impatient. But I do have Bondo here. But if I don't let it all relax and I Bondo it, it's all going to come out anyway. But I don't know 100% for sure how I feel about leaving the knots. There's so many of them, I might just have to. And so many of them, it might just end up being a character thing more than anything. But I'm deciding now whether or not I build a 4-foot by 8-foot door and then cut it down to size. Of course, that'll mean one of my edges, two of my edges are not going to have support behind them yet, but I can adjust for that. But probably not. I'm probably going to do the right thing. But I got to find a place to let these relax while I cut the foam, while I cut this ply and get it together. Got a couple of shelves up there. Weird, I'm gonna lay some stuff on the freaking floor so that I can put some stuff out of the way. It's mostly because I'm ridiculous. Man, these are physically cold. You can just feel the coldness of them. I might run these joints upstairs. I didn't even measure how many of them. So let me see how wide I get, make sure I got enough of them, or if I need to trim out. I bought all of the ones that were there, and in my head I did the math and it was good, but I did not actually put a tape on anything. So let me do that real quick and at least know if I've got to adjust my plan. I got 3 up there, I got 3, 4 down here, put them all together. 3 of them will give me 15 inches, that means 6 of them will give me 30 inches, that means will give me just under, I need 36 3/4. So once I put a trim on it, I'll be okay. But I cannot start from the edge, I gotta start from center, work my way out. I gotta remember that. Because they don't have any more of these at my local store. I've never even seen them in my local, any store before. But that's mostly why I bought them. It's way better looking than those acoustical panels, in my opinion. Because you can change them. That's my hinges, don't need that yet. These are going to be my sides and my top and bottom for structure. should be letting those relax too. Let me stand up here. Let them relax that way. And then I've got these two sheets of 1/4 inch here material. Or 3 mil ply, I think this might be. Then there's this foam. Yeah. I'm so grateful for having 9-foot ceilings down here. I can't even tell you how much better that makes things for getting around and such. All right, and welcome to anybody who I have not seen in the chat. Generally, this particular setup, I have to come up and squint my eyes and look at the thing like this. So yeah, half sheet of foam. Maybe I'll knock it out today. Yeah, you should, man. You should keep the knots. Yeah, those knots are gonna be a benefit to me. Design-wise, don't think it any other way. And the benefit of I'm just showing y'all. This is actually my router table, and this is my table saw table, but everything is dead flat when the blades are down, and they're also double as assembly tables, which they will be right now. This is also the case for my miter table station, right over there, with those two. Same heights. So I got measurements for this written down somewhere, and I got a tape measure that I actually like somewhere. I'm gonna try to find those two items. There's my numbers so far for my rough opening, well, my rough size that needed to be. Might put y'all on the chat here, that way I can see it a little bit easier without having to come up and squint if you have something to say or ask. Let me go upstairs and grab that tape measure. I left it up there when I was doing the door measurement. I'll go ahead and show you the door I'm gonna do. Oh, what's going on, Mr. McCall? Eco Wood Crafts, baddest man in the land. You make the best earrings, dude. Yo, Eco, we should really talk about. I want more wood, man. That stuff you made was incredible. And I don't know, I mean, it's gotta be a process. But I gotta know that I got a source. Because I'm trying to make these knives, they're getting better. And by the time they're good, one of the standout features is that, this is the doorway. This is the doorway. I put this blanket up last time my daughter visited because I'm a slacker. No, I built a room 4 months ago. I did not build the door. What's going on, Carnage? Eco makes some earrings that belong at Tiffany's. I'm telling you, for real. It's a real, like, of all the YouTube channels that I'm aware of, yours is one of the most slept on for the level of talent that you just naturally bring and the good ideas that you do. I got a little bit hungry, a little bit. So I'm seeing what's in here. Oh, it's chicken from last night. Salad from last night. It's also cookies. Just got back from work, having a drink, sanded the popcorn ceiling. Oh my God. Popcorn ceilings are a lot of work. I'll tell you, I was very fortunate in this house that they were smart enough when they put this thing on the market to make sure that they had sanded down all these ceilings to flat, because that would have been awful. On these old houses here, they do it all the time. They just leave them that way. I gotta get some nog. I mean, that's kind of like eating food. There's eggs in there, there's milk in there. I have 4 to bring back the paint. Woo! Woo! I did mud and sand this ceiling down, and it's still not perfect, but it also had already been mudded and sanded down. It just wasn't done great. And I knew when I had to put these, I don't know if you can see it. I put all these little recess lights in there. And while I was up there, I knew I was going to have to make some holes to send everything through. So I just went ahead and did the thing. I just mudded it up. I still got some slight imperfect spots, but nothing too extreme. Oh yeah, I came up here. Full Z's. Put that on my hip so I can handle my nog. I wasn't scraping mud our ceilings, but said screw it. I ain't mad. If these were not already done, I definitely wouldn't have done it yet. The upstairs bathroom. Let me see. That room right there at the top of the stairs, its ceiling was bad. It was very wavy. It looked like they had gone over the popcorn and it just weighed down. But I scraped it all the way back down to the paper and just mudded that whole ceiling, all the joints, everything. It was so bad, I was tempted to just go over it, just put 1/4 inch up on flat on top of it, but I was worried it would be too wavy even then, so I just went ahead and scraped it on down. All right, put y'all back up in the cradle. Cradle, something. So we need 36 1/4. I'm gonna put that right here. So let's go 36 1/4. Make my mark down here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see me, but I'm gonna just put my little knife right there in that edge, and then we'll go down here. About halfway, do it again. 36 1/4, and then I'm gonna make a mark there. This foam is so easy to work with in that regard. Make your little marks. And then once again, 36 1/4. Now, we in the industry call these crow's feet. You make a little V shape like so that you can find the dead center of the mark that you're trying to make. It's a very useful thing. dropping. These are the useful things. It's my 7-foot level or 6 and some change. And what I've done here is my first measurement, I just stuck my knife in right there. So I can just butt to it and I've got my measurement up here. I don't have to worry about this being off. And then I find my crow's foot right there. I line it up right to the center of it. And then I'm good. Crow's feet good. Butt it up to the knife good. That should roll right through to my next line down there. And we cut it. And since that's there and holding something right now, that's going to be of some benefit to us. Since we've got this right here and it's just foam, all we need to do is go ahead make a little slice. And if you've got that slice, continue it down through the rest of the board. Just like that. And with a knife, you can get really right in that corner, like really right next to it. We do that just to hold it tight. Sometimes you gotta do that. And now, because my knife is sharp, I'm gonna just stay right here in that line. See my arm position and it's staying the same. I'm moving my feet. Moving my feet. My arm is staying right there. And if you can lock your arm in a position, it will generally follow a straight line. Generally. Not like that dumb car with the hillbillies in it. Not that generally. Go to the edge of my board. It ain't quite ready to snap. Okay. It's all the way through. We're still pulling in that same line. Getting that arm stay extended. So you can hold a straight line without having to push this foam through some sort of table saw or some circular saw nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So we're good. We're just going to try to keep a 90 as best we can. This will not be perfect. But we need a 90 because we got to glue the support board on here. What we should have done, friggin' measured our board width and subtracted it from that. Well, it's good practice to know how it's going to cut, which seems to be pretty effortless. But we have two of these boards coming through on each side. And boom. And boom. So what we really need is for it to be two of these narrower. Really, because these are going to be the actual edges. Let me sit this over a little bit, see if we don't have to rip these at all. I hope not. I think that's going to be perfect with the edge of our planks that we've got. So we're going to go with it. We are going to measure these. We are going to take both of those numbers off of our edge. see what it's going to be. We also got to do that with our height. That's 1.5 inches we need to lose. These are 3/4 inch boards, but I did want to illustrate that for you. So we're going to do the same thing at the bottom because we've got 83 3/4 down there. So let's go ahead and pull this measurement and not make that mistake early. 83 3/4 for the size door we've got. Measure twice, 83 3/4. Now when you are measuring on anything, you keep your tape parallel to that edge. Otherwise it changes that measurement because you're dealing with a radius now. 83 3/4. 88. Again, we're going to do a little crow's foot or a little V, some people will call it. And a little oversized, but we're going to use this to get our lines again for our cut. Go ahead and lock it in right there. And this is just a trick that works on foam. It don't work on much of anything else. But you can put that knife right there, and then that'll stay put. And then you can just let this one sit. And you get your line that way. And then all you have to do is finish it out. Like I said, don't be too aggressive trying to go through this in one walk. I mean, it doesn't take but a few seconds to make another pass. And what you might not want to end up with is one big ragged edge. If you can take your time, go through it a few times. You can use a handsaw and do the same thing. Your edge might not be as crispy. Now I came around here so that I could adjust, and I did not make that adjustment at all. I did not take that 1.5 inches off. So I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna put my tape right in that very groove, come up 1.5 inches from it. Boom. And we'll pretend like that serves us in some way. Aside from just being a doofus. Giving instructions and mucking it up at the same dang time. Do a little pinch there. Again, straight through that. You know, you proceed with whatever caution you need to proceed with when handling knives of any type. I don't give a whole lot of safety disclaimers outside of use your common sense and don't do things that you're not comfortable with. And ideally, you're going to find somebody who's got their hands on it, who can talk directly to you. Because some mistakes you don't know you're making, somebody points them out. And then this should be my final pass. All right, that's good. Now we gotta cut our. What's that on me? Oh man. Is there a mosquito? How are mosquitoes even alive right now? No, it's always a good time we don't have to worry at work. Hello from the oil fields in Texas. Man, you out there working, working. Salute to you, good sir. We're going to take our 1.5 inches off of this side. This is our cut side. Oil fields in Texas. Hard working. I had a guy who came to work for me from those oil fields in Texas back in, was it 2008? Everything had slowed down a little bit in that arena. There were some political things that happened. And man, those guys were not making the money they were used to coming out of those oil fields and working in regular jobs in construction. They had to do lifestyle changes, everything. It kind of sucked for them. I'm glad it's better now. A little better anyway. Hold that right there. There's a mosquito in here biting me. It's driving me crazy. Because it shouldn't be alive right now. It should not be alive. This thing is feasting on you, boy. Now, you got a foam board and wooden assembly table, so we don't have to worry about going through and create no problem. Everything we built is built to endure. Trim what you gotta trim, Slam. Alright, now this should be our door size, less these edges. So, we'll get the straightest of these, and they are not all straight. Up against this edge. But we also want the straightness of the other boards, the plywood as well. We want to cut that edge clean. And I think we want to go ahead and start some sort of assembly with this. So that I just got a general idea of what I'd like to do. I haven't like heavily thought it out. But if I've got this sandwiched in between 2 sheets of ply and I've got 2 right angles, and I can make this whole thing square, cut it exactly how we need it twice, and then that's it. We just glue it up, clamp it down, let it dry, And then we come back and put on our fluted molding. And that might be able to happen even while it's drying if we've got the right situation going. So one side is going to get that because that's the better looking wood, and that'll be a paintable surface right off the start. The other side is going to get a not as good wood, a little bit cheaper, but same thickness, and we'll put the fluted trim over top of that. So right now, I think we need to put down a sheet of ply, glue it up, so that we can put this over. Yeah. And maybe that should be the ugly ply first down low. All right, let's get it out of the way. Edge supported as much as possible. I'm gonna go down with this. So that my glue can feel and be relatively flat. Just put this up. And we could mark our edges, and then we would still have to adjust them by a little bit. So I'm thinking we'll make our mark 1.5 inches. Again. And we'll just make a series of these 1.5 inch marks going down. It'll be like a registration. That way, this is 1.5 inches solid the whole way from this edge all the way down, and that should meet and if we add 1.5 inches from the top, here, here. Here. We should also have call these measurements approximate because we are not going to trust this cheap plywood to be our square corners, because they do not cut this stuff in such a way. But right now I think we got a good square corner. So I'm going to mark it square. May as well cut this and get this out of the way. Push my a little further that way so that this is free to fall once I make this cut. This with my regular old circular saw, and I'm going to put an extension cord on it so I can get some length. Walk it around this board. Forgive me while I get used to this new setup, y'all. Could be better, but it could be worse. We'll start relatively shallow. We don't have anything below us to worry about hitting. Go ahead and rip that freestyle. I wasn't gonna point this out, but I gotta point this out. Wes just sent you a message on Facebook. Word, appreciate it. We'll see you when I get it. Um, I just screwed this whole thing up. It's salvageable. But this should have been the full size of my freaking door, not minus the not minus the trash. But it is gonna be salvageable because we do have a situation. That's the only thing that's gonna save it. Is that my sideboards can go on the side and extend over, and that will be all right in this scenario. Thank goodness. But this was a dumb mistake. Try not to rush yourselves. Try not to rush your process, especially for the sake of YouTube. They don't care. I did not do it wrong. Brilliant, Wes. Good job, man. Good job, man. go ahead and get these measurements so make sure we're going. It's 3/4 right there. Sit right there. Sit right there. Right there. Let's check it up top. Top, we need to go down a full 1/2 inch. Not a full 1/2, a full 1/4 inch. That's it. That's it. Still good here. Good here. Almost good here. Quite. I feel I'm not quite square somewhere. We're gonna have to adjust it at some point. We got full support this way. Let's go ahead and throw some weight on it. All right. And let that sit. Let me measure this out. We can go ahead and start fastening these on. See what that looks like. have to put some clamps on to keep those flat. If I've got clamps long enough to do that. I may not. Oh man. Just found out I'm short of clamps. That sucks. I don't even know how to fix that. If I push them up on the ledge, maybe. Oh, I'm gonna have to lift it up though. Needs to be flat. Let it dry like that. Fill it in with some light foam. That ought to hold all that together. Trying to have faith in the internet telling me that this is the right glue to use. All right. I really am just gonna have to leave that for a little bit. What's going on, Clark? What's going on, Tim? What up, CJ? How you doing there, Rob? I'll pull off of this thing a little bit and blow my views up for the sake of my chats. When I show my face and start talking, it just goes away. Who got timed out? What were you doing? What were you doing? Somebody's always doing something goofy. Appreciate you, Rob, for checking it and keeping the unpleasantries gone. Just gotta trim yourself some rabbits, eh? Mm-hmm. Just sent me a message. Awesome. Yeah, what I am doing is hey Pat, how you doing? I am building a door for my daughter upstairs. And currently I've got this 1 inch foam and I've glued it down to this 1/8 inch ply. And I've got some more 1/8 inch ply over there. It's a little bit of paint grade stuff. But the side that's face down right now is going to get this fluted molding that I've got up there. So the door is going to be mostly fluted with some attributes and accoutrement after that. But for the most part, that's the size we got. And then, of course, I've got the frame already built upstairs. I'll just have to put the stops on around it, build a little quick threshold, stuff like that. I have no idea what I'm going to do about door hardware, like a handle, if that'll even work. Um, but I think when I'm all said and done, it'll be all right. But for the time being, I think I'm at a little bit of a standstill with this thing here, in that this glue has to dry. And there's not much I should or can do about that while it's drying. And if I do something about it, I'll probably muck something up. So I'm not. I'm gonna let that dry. It may take about a half hour or two, and then I'll come lay the second sheet over that once this is dry enough that I can move it, take the clamps off, all of that stuff, and then I'll cut that down to size, glue it on, fasten all four of these edges on, check for square, make whatever adjustments I need, and then I'll start doing the decorative part, and then I'll put the hardware on, of course, after that. Put a brace across the center also. Where would you think? Like the center like that way, or the center like that way? Because essentially this is going to be a hollow core door. As long as I fasten all my two sheets of ply together with the other sheet in between, I don't think I'll get a whole lot of twisting, but that is possible. Because this is an interior door, by the way. It's basically uh, like a hollow core door. It's definitely not going to be weight or weather. It's just going to get mostly cutesy. And in this particular house, all the hollow core doors are just flat, except for a few exceptions. The one I put in for my other daughter's room, and then the one that I'm going to put in for this one. But those are sort of my adult children, and I want their rooms to feel a little bit more adult, a little bit more personal, a little bit more home-like, so that they can also have company, stuff like that, visitors, and not feel like the rest of the kids who are still kids. You know what I mean? Because it's tough out there. It is not as easy to make it at 21 now as it was when I was 21. I literally could work at McDonald's at 21 and make enough money to live. You know, crappy place, but a place. But yeah, you guys are awesome for hanging out with me. And for those of you who stayed around while I was running my mouth, appreciate that too. I'm going to go out and get my pneumatic nailer and stuff like that. That'll speed things up. That'll let me not have to rely on these clamps really at all, or these weights if I get going on it. So maybe that's what I'll do. If that's how I set up after lunch, then I'll come through and let you see if you want to. Meanwhile, let me get around here. You were around last night till 2 a.m. and you wasn't live. I was bored. Seriously, man, I specifically was like, I'm not going to get on this late tonight. And what I will do, I was like, I'll get on in the morning. Then my peoples in the UK can watch. Did you know on my channel, only roughly 25% of my viewers are in the United States? I thought that was weird, but I'm grateful. So I'm trying to be mindful. I actually really enjoy when Rob and Lions and Nikki and some of the people who are English speaking but not in the Americas are on, because it's a very interesting conversation. I appreciate it. It's a good time. Sorry you got bored last night without me, Rob. Next time, man. I've got a knife I've lost. I don't know if I told you. I lost that whole Purple Heart knife that I made. It has eluded me, and I'm slightly losing my mind about it. Like, it's not that I love the knife so much, which I do enjoy the knife, but that my mind is slipping enough to lose something I literally made the day before. And kind of sucks. All right. Hey, Rob, simple ways to hold your stuff. Shops get too fancy sometimes. Sometimes you just smack a couple of boards on the wall and put some nails in it. Hold all your shite. You know what I mean? British is best. Well, no, I did not. I did not. What progress did you make today? I've been on for a little bit. I've been on twice today, so I may have been on at the same time. What'd you do today? What'd you get made out there in that garage? I'm just putting all kinds of shit on here. I really need this stuff to stick down. Yeah, what'd you make, bub? And put the lid on the Titebond. Three clear benches. Right on. Space. Spaces to breathe and fill up with other stuff. Yes. AKA new experiences. I'm with it. Fully and wholly. I'm with it, Brother Rob. Because I think me and you both know some of us have to have something to do. Maybe more than others. And I'm definitely one of those who has to have something to do. But this is enjoyable, quite frankly. Shop is by no means cleared out, but it is getting better. Once I finish the other side of the house, I can get that refrigerator and that stove that away and finish building out that space. I got a bathroom I'm building down here. I've only framed up. I really can't even call it building down here. I just framed it up. It's over there. But my kids and myself, I can't even throw it all on the kids because look, that's drywall, but it is for that bathroom. But we have got a mountain. Look at all that stuff. That's all boxes from things that have been purchased over the last 3 years since we've been in this house. Because we didn't bring any junk with us. But now we've got, that's the equivalent of a whole living room full of junk. But I can make much more progress building without that junk in there. But today, this is the junk that we're satisfying because that's in the finished space and it's terrible. And I'm a little bit ashamed of it, especially because we got all this paneling, upstairs on the walls. And then our kitchen cabinets are new, our countertops are relatively new. I just got the ceiling together. And then we got a dumb blanket hanging. Yeah, Rob, I do have a lot of space. I have downstairs the same amount of space as we have upstairs on the main level, which has 4 bedrooms on it. And then we got the 2 up there, but I don't have that space downstairs. But end to end, wall to wall, I've got the same space downstairs that we've got upstairs. So I am going to build an apartment down there. That's why that bathroom's there. That's why the stove and the fridge are down there so that I could finish building a kitchen down there. Currently, the only utilized space down there is the laundry room. And then all the stuff that I'm using on that side, which is technically the garage. The paneling looks lovely. Oh, I appreciate it. No, make a permanent workshop. No, Well, that's the great thing, Rob, is that the guy that was here before me, this this section here, this is a door laying on its side. It's a huge door, and it's sitting up on this height, and it was kind of a table that was just built into this offset, right? And that's what I got here with. And he also left behind this chest, this locker, and I filled it up with paint and solvents and all kinds of unsightly things. Um, and then I stacked and built these cabinets on top of stuff, things like that. I salvaged that cabinet from a job I was doing. And, of course, utilized all that space below, built some shelves there. This is plenty big as a shop for me without having to interfere. And then I leave out of that 2-car garage, which is my shop. And then we have this space that's available. So this is going to be a bedroom. All that's going to be a bedroom, one big bedroom. It'll stop right there at the 2 poles. And then this will be sort of a little open area. And then right behind me, right now there's a sink there, and the washer dryer and stuff's behind there. But that wall right there is going to get torn down, and this is going to be an open area. That's going to be an open kitchen. And then right here is the bathroom framed out. I'm going to do something interesting with that ceiling, but I haven't decided yet. And then this would be fun. This is my old shop. When I first got to this house, I was parking the cars in the garage. I parked my Audi in the garage, and I left the other side open for materials. So this was my shop. I put all these just makeshift lights up in the air because there's a lot of utility space in here. And I even did that on the wall. Boom, 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 boom. And this was kind of a countertop that I was using. I have my table saws on top of that. And now I just got that's an old stove that I don't know what to do with. I got to get rid of it. That's. And then I just stuck shelves wherever I could fit them. But I haven't used any of this stuff since I had it this way for about a year. And then I moved everything into that space over there. But this is going to be like a sitting room / living room or something like that, because it comes in straight from the outside. There's a screen and porch out there. What? There's a screen and porch out there, so that's also going to be a benefit to this space. So one of these kids who finally, gets out of college first will have a nice little apartment. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff here. Titanic shelves hold up all that Jackie stick ass shelf build. I don't know what you're talking about, big help. But But yeah, I got some space to build down here, and I'm super happy about it. Like, this is sort of my dream setup. I did not need more than a 2-car garage. And in my last place that I was renting, I did have a 2-car garage. And it, at the time, was the biggest shop I ever had. And it was kind of amazing, but it was also space I had to share with the rest of the house, meaning anything that came in needed storing had to be in that space. Here I don't have that same circumstance, so it opens up a lot more for me. But yeah, thanks for doing the little shop tour with me. Look at this. I made this yesterday, this morning. And then I can put my phone on it and have some light. It's a little janky to look at, but it works. Man, y'all are cool for hanging with me today. I appreciate it. I gotta figure out what I want to eat. Problem with me is I don't generally get hungry throughout the course of the day, but I do need to eat because I do get grumpy when I get hungry. And so I gotta find out what I can put together, maybe a sandwich or something. So next is a solid raised 4-panel door from mahogany. It says small wood lot. Did you not see? Oh yeah, Pat, you haven't been around a whole lot. If you sift through my shorts, you'll see that I did a chestnut door, and it was a full panel door. Um, it's very nice, I think. So check it out. It'd be nice. It's much nicer than what I'm going to do here. It took me well over a week or something to do that. I could do something similar in the workshop. Yeah, absolutely, man. You should. For sure. I love that Pat's here. Hold on for a second. I need to light some incense off camera. Some appetite enhancement. But I wish I had some mahogany. But I'm not, in the beginning of my YouTube journey, I really didn't have a lot of woodworkers on my channel. So I didn't really have much opportunity to talk about some of this stuff. With this house, where that bathroom is, there was this wormy chestnut panels all along that wall. But they were along that wall with that cheap wooden 3mm panel that's got the little grooves cut in it, and it looked very similar. So we didn't even know that bathroom was stubbed out there. It just looked like a wall, and we assumed it was an exterior wall. And then a week and a half later, I'm down here. I moved in about 2 weeks before my family did, so that I could, paint and build out some rooms and stuff like that. But yeah, it was wild, man. I got all this free chestnut, and that chestnut is expensive if you want to get it from somewhere. Have I treated it before storing it? No, that wormy chestnut is at least 100 years old, because wormy chestnut has not grown in the Americas to that level of maturity since the 1920s. So I don't think it's got any problems. If it does, wormholes are not the worst thing in the world to happen with that stuff. I really like that door that I built out of it. I wish I could post stuff, again, but YouTube hates that, and they pretty much start shadow banning you when you double post stuff. But whenever I build something out of it, I do treat it and seal it and all that stuff. But you might see today, in fact, I am going to that house. That's a phone call that I just missed. I'm going to the house that I built that door in for that bathroom I built. And I'll show it to you. If I get over there today, I'll show it to you. And because I told them I'd come look at it. They've got a new refrigerator, and the cabinets have to be adjusted to accommodate it. And so I'll probably go over there and do that. But I think what I might do is go ahead and give her a call, plan my day out, and then I'll check y'all out a little bit later. I'm not getting much done right now in a second anyway. I gotta wait for that stuff to dry. And yeah, maybe I'll go do that while that's happening, and maybe I'll grab something to eat while I'm driving. So let me take off my wife's necklace, unless one of y'all want to buy it. And get off into this Wu-Tangery that I'm generally on. Alright. But I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Once again, y'all are awesome. Just in case the worm is active. Man, 100-year-old worms. Nice. I have a little chestnut that is virgin. Found it down tree in a storm. It was quite a big old tool. That's awesome. took a week to get it out of the woods. That's amazing. I'm blown away that you found some. Out for delivery today. A new pair of suspenders. Swapping colors on y'all, trying to look fresh. Okay, let me run out of here, man. I'm gonna holler back at y'all. I appreciate everything. I'm gonna get out, but I will be back. We'll get that door finished today. Catch y'all later. Yeah, it's good to catch you too, man. We'll holler. Peace. What's buzzing?